Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's edition of Beyond the Ordinary Show. And this evening, we have the amazing founder and author of The Infinite Wisdom of the Akashic Records. She is the founder of the Akashic Knowing School of Wisdom, where she's taught thousands of students worldwide to access personal soul wisdom and guidance to transform their life. And she's just an amazing human being with so much to share that just keeps evolving and keeps growing as she opens herself up to expand. And she can't help but to share that wisdom with us and that embodiment with us. And so it's going to be a fantastic call today. Of course, we'll open up to Q&A like we normally do on Beyond the Ordinary. The topic today is access wisdom. And some of the things that we're going to get into is about how to heal or release difficult relationships, receive soul guidance to make important decisions, and release unproductive patterns. Who's on board for all of that, right? It's gonna be an amazing call. I hope you all sit back, relax, enjoy. And with that, Lisa, welcome to the call.
Oh, thank you, John. It's always fun to be here with you. So excited. Yes. And I also want to talk a little bit about kind of going forward, because I don't know if you've been really hit with this new energy, but these last few days, seriously, since moving into February, I felt so much new energy that I always kind of think is going to happen in January, but poof. So yeah, I think it would be fun to talk about that going forward. What's coming up? Where are we going? How can the
I
Akashic Records help? All that stuff.
I love context for that because I have, and several people that I've spoken to are feeling it so viscerally. Like this gateway has just like exploded open. It wasn't subtle, the shift.
Right.
And a
One
lot
day,
of people,
bang.
having physical symptoms with it also. It's like some people having like overwhelming heart palpitations, things moving, others like wondering what's happening. In other words, like, thank God it's finally here. So I so want to get into that. Um, so Lisa, why don't we begin first of all? Again, we're talking about access wisdom today, but let's kind of back it up just a little bit because you bring in wisdom in so many different ways, but you use the Akashic records as a portal in which to really access what's available.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it is, again, even with this kind of whatever this little time change was, I'm feeling the depth of the importance of the wisdom, guidance, healing, support from your own personal Akashic records. Right. So, I love to do group healing. I'd actually love to do some group healing today because I think there's some great old programs and things that we can unwrite. And I always love to do that in a group because it's so powerful for everyone. We all bring our energy in, and that's really fabulous. But the record keepers have been saying to me for a long time, right? The last 25 years. They've been like, this is one of the greatest empowerment tools on the planet. And it is everyone's birthright to have access into their own personal Akashic records. And of course, I know that. I've said that plenty of times, but I'm feeling really viscerally again, kind of the importance of that really now, right? To say, ooh, what's happening? Like, what's happening today? What's happening today? What's happening today, right? Every day. So when you have a tool like the ability to access your own Akashic records with ease and grace every single day, it really, really is life-changing. And
Mm.
so as much as I've seen it be phenomenal over the last 30 years of teaching it, wow, today it feels like even more important because who doesn't have a million questions like what the heck is happening and what does that mean to me, right?
Well, there's a couple things I want to ask you about, but it, I just want to start with who doesn't have questions. And it's like we're becoming new. We have new questions. The old ones aren't really satisfying. And it's like, who am I being? Who have I become? And what choice do I make from here? Because I can't make it from the past anymore. Right. And so that's coming up really strongly also. And you mentioned something that I find really intriguing, and I'd love your clarification on it. Well, sometimes when I think about accessing the Akashic, it's like, okay, I'm going to have a session with Lisa. We're going to go into the records. We're going to pull some information. It's going to be shared, and I receive a download or specific information that's channeled for me. And okay, let me carry that forward. But you're talking about accessing the Akashic every day. Uh,
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah, well, so this is what happened for me, whatever 25 years ago, the record keeper said, "We want you to teach humanity," which was again, always these things are kind of like a bit of a joke to me, like, really, humanity? Could you just say your neighbor?
Give me
Teach
a
a couple of your
demographic.
friends. You're
Give me
like,
my
that's
niche.
overwhelming. Thanks, really. Um, but it was the truth was at that point, the Akashic record keepers, these beings of light who hold the energy of the Akash, had pulled the energy away from Earth during the Dark Ages. So here they are saying, please help us, right? We need to like find humans who can talk to us, who can hear us, who can help us re-anchor this energy and this information, because we've forgotten how. And when we can actually access this on a regular basis, again, this is, I mean, I love my higher self, I love the angels, I love my ancestors, but to me, accessing the Akashic Records, which is the library of your soul's journey through all time space continuum, is just so much more, right? Going there and asking all those questions, not of your grandfather or Archangel Michael. I mean, love, love, love them all, and they're very helpful and useful in so many different ways. But if you want to look at the truth of who you are as an infinite soul who has been on this planet, 400, 600, 800 lifetimes, if you want that kind of information and guidance, then you go into your personal Akashic records.
When someone's going into their Akashic records, and I want to get into the topic also, but it's just coming up so strongly. Is it something that they hear? It's something that they receive a knowing of? Is there a particular clair that activates, or how can it come through for people?
So we are just all unique, and we all kind of have a bit of all the clairs. I really believe that we all have access to all of the clairs. We're all unique. So some people literally hear, I heard literally like a booming voice. I mean, it was like, who the heck is yelling at me? They would literally yell at me. It was pretty funny. And it still took me years to figure out who was doing the yelling because I never thought to ask. But I would say, but most of my students, and it was fun. I literally just taught a live in-person workshop here in California this last weekend. And it's very cool to sit in that energy with that group and kind of see. And people would say, oh my gosh, I feel it and I know it, right? So one person would kind of have the clairsentient, claircognizant experience, and someone else might have that clairvoyant and clairsentient, and somebody else is clairaudient, clairvoyant, right? So we get, and when I teach people, I find it's important to think about accessing all of those. What am I feeling in my body? What am I noticing even in those kinds of goosebumps, those kind of feelings? But what am I feeling in my emotions, which is obviously different, kind of a different clairsentience than, am I feeling goosebumps or am I actually feeling an emotion? Am I feeling kind of sad or pain, right? So there are many subtle aspects to all the clairs. And so when I teach people, I always want to say, pay attention to all of these subtle pieces. And again, you don't have to be clairvoyant to receive information. I really, really teach my students to start to receive and let the energy, images, thoughts, feelings, all of that flow through you, kind of out your hands onto a piece of paper. So just get out of your head and write. And then
Mm,
people are like, oh, wow, wow. And that sometimes what they wrote and then they read will move them to tears.
mm. That's beautiful, Lisa. And I love the way you describe it. And you're such an amazing teacher. Again, you've been doing it for so long, but you have such passion for it. And you've embodied so much of the wisdom that's coming through you that the way you translate it for other people to learn how to access their own records is phenomenal. And y'all, we're going to get into that a little bit later because Lisa, I like to call them gateways. There's an alchemy to it. There's processes and tools that as you have relationship with them, integration with them, and conjure them forward from your presence, they really open up that access that's available to you. And it's not difficult, but we do have to apply certain tools to facilitate what's available.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
yeah, because a lot of people ask, why can't I see or hear things? Why can't I connect with my guides? Why can't I do that? It's like, how much time are you spending in a discipline of connecting? And if you just learn little disciplines, I want to call them,
Yeah.
the gateways of communication that can open up are profound. So
Yeah.
amazing. Again,
Yes.
we're going to get into the how in a little
Yeah.
bit. Um, Lisa, should we talk about the great energy or should we go into how to release past relationships and how to really tune in? With
Oh, let's talk energy because I think it's
awesome. Love
so
it.
present.
Okay.
I think it's been so, right, so visceral, like you were saying. Um, and, I had never particularly thought about it. It's February 1st, whatever. Um, but it kind of collided energetically with, really with some of the great goddess energies, the Brigitte or Bridget, and the returning of the spring, the growth, all of this divine feminine was coming through really on the first, and then of course, two these like repeating numbers, always wonderful gateways, but what I noticed for a lot of people is that um, it felt like pressure, or for some people, interesting, almost like fear,
Hmm.
right? And do you ever go to that, right? Is that excitement or is that fear? Am I afraid of it, or can I just go, oh, I'm actually excited because come to think of it, I've been waiting for this my whole life, or at
Yeah.
least for a year or two, And so I was even noticing personally, and a friend of mine I was with on the second, and she was saying, "Oh my gosh, I feel so stressed out, and I don't know what is it." And that was actually kind of what triggered me as I went in the records, and I was like, "Wow, all of this phenomenal energy, kind of the new flooding forward, and sometimes we don't know what to do with it, or we don't know what it is, right? And so we kind of go to our old stories and our old patterns of, there's scary things, it's new, and so I think most of us on a spiritual path have learned over the years to kind of, go, hopefully not too much to the fear, but again, collective patterns, collective unconscious, all of those energies often will push us to, I don't know what the heck is going on. Right?
Yeah.
So that's a little scary, but to me, I just felt that as like such an opening of floodgates, and I it's almost like I got that image from the Akash of like the old dam bursting open, and all of this beautiful fresh water and all of this really fresh new energy
Mm.
flowing out. And yeah, in a moment, it could be a little overwhelming. They're like, oh, that's a bit much. Okay. But we can take a step back and take a breath and take a time out, right? But I really, when I asked in the records, they said, this is literally what you've been waiting for your whole life. And
Mm.
I know at the end of last year, I was talking a little bit about, we're coming to the end of this 12-year cycle. And I always thought, darn, I wish somebody had told me, it was going to take 12 years to go from 2012 to 2024, that really was a thing. Maybe I would have rested more. Who knows? Probably not. Um, but,
No.
um, but it's and as we know, we can look at the winter solstice, on December 21st of 2024. Um, but it seems like it took all the way through January for all of the kind of that old and the realignments and the new shifts and all of the shifting about the realigning, for this new energy to start to really flood forward and to really feel it. So, I'm excited about all that change, all this new energy, higher vibration. I mean, I just think we're going to be blown away by what I've been waiting for and watching in the Akashic records for a lot of years. The record keepers keep saying people are going to invent miraculous things, And I thought the other day, I don't know if I trust those self-driving cars. What am I going to do with those flying cars? Hmm. All of a sudden felt like closer, maybe not in the next 3 months, but I don't think that far out. I mean, it really just felt like whoosh, it's so much is here, so much that we've been waiting for is
Well,
here
it's
or flowing.
there's an initiation in that because if we're really receiving what we really wish for, and it's flooding us with this energy, and it's a tsunami of energy. It's not subtle. What can we do to attune our nervous system and our body into a space of receptivity? Because there is a lot of reaction of anxiety and tensing up, and my heart's hurting, and I don't know, and I'm overwhelmed. And again, you can say that's part of the excitement, but it's also part of the old pattern. I don't know if I deserve it. I don't know if I'm ready, and all, and also the physical body being, attuning to a frequency that's humming at a lot higher vibration that it has to acclimate to.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And, so much of it is old, but it's still, that's what we've been used to for whatever many years it's been, right? And so, one of the things, and this is one of the things that I absolutely love about working with the Akashic Record Keepers, is that they want to give us all sorts of tools to help us, right? And so, one of the things that they say is, again, doing all of these beautiful kind of processes like, sitting down and doing a lot of slow breathing, kind of through your nose, and out through your nose, just really deep, 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 slow breaths. And remind yourself, right? Just the first thing I get when I kind of go into that panic is, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, right? I'm in my heart, right? I feel that love and I take a lot of slow breaths. And then I often will do just a nice tripod grounding system, spend some time really inviting my soul more fully present into my body. And it's super cool because one, it's good to realize that your soul wrote a contract with your physical body, right? Often as light workers, we don't want to be that grounded. We don't really want to be embodied. We often don't really want to be here, right? But when you think about the fact your body has a contract with your soul, and we want to bring that contract in this present moment, and I invite my soul to come in just into the crown chakra and activate every cell in the body. And I see it almost like a light switchboard, like all the cells lighting up and lighting up and lighting up and lighting up as they go across the body, just really slowly breathing and feeling that energy, the warmth, the vitality, all of that activation of the soul, because often our soul's kind of hanging out there busily doing its own thing while we're kind of being human and right doing our human thing. So when we do just very kind of simple things like that, it really brings you into this present moment. It activates the contract between your soul and your body. And when we get really all the way down into our hips and our legs and our feet and ground, it becomes very simple and easy to manifest. And so to me, it's the first way whenever we talk about creating, manifesting more abundance, whatever it is, love, fun, health, anything, to really activate the soul embodied.
That's beautiful, Lisa. I really appreciate that. But with the physical presence also, I was speaking to an amazing friend, and she was tuning into just how much energy was running through her, and it was like activating, and it seemed like a lot. And we were having similar experiences. And after the conversation, a few hours later, she got back to me. She goes, I realized that with this overflow of energy that I had, I asked, how can I be of service of this energy? How can I give from what I have and serve others with this abundance? And she said that helped her ground so much. And I went
Mm.
out into the yard and did the same thing, and it eased some of that energy. So there's something activating that if we put consciousness into it to ignite and inspire in ways, again, as an act of service, that we can put that into the ground. We can put that into intentions, and it's a way of adjusting again from our overflow
Mm.
into allowing that to be, again, like I said, of service to others, which was such a beautiful process, I thought.
Yeah. Oh, it is so beautiful and interesting. We were just there by you, and the record keepers are saying, go stand in the water. Kind of same thing.
Yeah.
Share all of that energy and that love with the water creatures, with all that energy ripples and flows right through that water, even more visibly, right, than through the ground. It always moves through both. And we can do it also even just with our hearts in that kind of beautiful big energy bubble where I'm going to just share all of that excess overflow. And again, it's important that we realize we're not sharing our energy, we're not depleting us. We have all of this beautiful energy that's flowing to us, and to invite it to continue flowing through and out to our loved ones, our community, the water, the earth, the everything, right? Just really feeling that. And it's yummy to do.
It is. It is. It's so fulfilling, and in the receiving and in the exhale, the giving back, and the circuit that creates. That's where infinity really gets created. We start turning that, which is so beautiful. Lisa, I want to get into some Q&A soon. Uh,
Okay.
so if y'all have questions, want to ask Lisa anything, raise your hand, type your question into the chat box. Of course, we're going to go into a special offer because the offer is amazing. The facilitation that happens through what Lisa's presenting here, it's really going to open up avenues that are really going to benefit you. But before we go into either one of those, Lisa, one thing that is so evident as well as these energies are speeding up, that the veils are thinning, that the communication with guides and also embodiment within self, with our higher self, even that soul wisdom is there's more of a direct line than there was before,
Yeah.
right? Right.
Yeah, it's exciting. It is.
So
And
the importance of being able to tune in, of knowing how to tune in, and having the confidence just on a daily basis, just those, okay, I'm just, I know I can do this. It's like, it's not even, I know I can do this. You just do it.
right. Yeah. Well, and I love that you say that, because I know that many people, probably who are listening, who have tried different things before and maybe not been successful in the past. It is so important to know the energy is different now. The veil is thinner. Our clairs are coming on line more easily. Are they're just even, I always kind of laugh. Sometimes I'll just, when I go to bed, I'll kind of lay there at night and just watch the pictures. They're just like,
Yeah.
let's see what's showing up. Oh, that's kind of pretty. I wonder what that is, right? I mean, it's just, they're actually kind of strange clairvoyant images, but I haven't had that kind of um visions or pictures or energy, like that very often over the years. And so it's really exciting just to even see those, the clairs opening, people are saying, to clairaudience, clairvoyance, claircognizance, all of the above, right? So maybe if you tried before and you weren't successful, try again, because I believe that with this new energy, access into your Akashic records is much easier.
Yeah, I love that. I believe it is also. Um, Actually, I don't, yeah, I take that back. I don't believe it. I know it
All right.
is. I'm experiencing it.
Yeah.
Um, so it's profound. And a lot of people that have so much respect for are experiencing it as well. And isn't that science, the same experiment repeated over and over again and proven over and over again? So based on the science of my circle, it's happening. Um, all right, Lisa, let's go to some Q&A. Um, Kimmy, let's start with you. Welcome to the call. And I'll ask you to find your unmute button, please.
I did it.
Uh,
Hi, thank you.
Hi.
I had to take some time away. Well, it was presented to me. I dog sit, so I have two quiet dogs that I'm watching over now. And I'm bouncing between making that more of a balancing that more in my life so I can spend the time like this with the dog so that I can make these connections with what's available to me. At the same time, my mother had passed away 6 months ago, and now my boyfriend's mother fell on the ice. So she's needing my attention. My question is, like, I feel that I have a compassion to give, just not necessarily to the elderly. And I feel like part of me is trying to sneak away from this Atlantic coast. Um, but there's other things that are like a family kind of a pull is trying to keep me here. And there's no reason for me to stay. I don't have children. I'm just wondering if there's a direction I should shoot to, or whether I just kind of remain where I am and continue to perfect what I know and can do right now.
Good question. So what I'm hearing is that you do not have a big soul contract with like some of these other people. Interestingly, it feels that, and I don't know if you do any animal communication, but that's more what I'm feeling, the animals, the animal communication, kind of finding your passion. And then, of course, we're humans. So then we have to kind of juggle it in those, human, ways of love and compassion for those around us. But it feels to me really important for you to choose, because you don't have a big soul contract to stay there. So if you stay, you get to choose to stay because we have free will. And if you don't, it's, because that's not really your soul's contract and what your soul came to do.
Is there any way to know what that contract is, or do I feel that out as I go along?
Yeah, some of it, again, you could learn to read your own Akashic records. When I open the records and do readings for people and teach people to do this, I spend time opening your specific records, really having a conversation with your record keepers about your contracts and all of the details. So when I am speaking in this kind of forum, I'm in my record, so I have a more general connection, so I don't have a lot of finite detail. So they're saying you don't have a soul contract with, who did you say it was?
My boyfriend's mother.
Yeah. Right. So he may, and so you may stay with him, but it's not yours. And so then, we often are balancing, do I stay for love and compassion? Perfectly right, right? Or do I choose to maybe move? And, he then has to decide, what his highest and best is. So we're complicated as humans.
I'm just trying to go my own way without hurting anybody's feelings in the process. And I
Yeah.
feel like when I'm really good at something, people tend to ask me to do it more. And then I get like, it's too much. I don't care about people that much. I don't care for them as much.
Right, right. That's not your soul contract. That's not your purpose, is not as much of the people or the elderly as the animals and the communication with the animals and the care of them. So, that's your higher and best path. But again, right, because we're humans and in relationships, we then have to kind of, do I juggle that for a few months, have that conversation with the boyfriend, decide maybe between the two of you the highest path. But I think it's important when we realize I don't have to stay. This is not a contract I made with this person.
Right.
That we're a little bit freer to move ahead in different ways.
Kimmy, thank you and bless
Thank
to you.
Yes.
And I actually want to offer a process that may help anybody who's trying to make a decision that can't quite see clearly. And it's really simple. And again, tapping into the Akashic can really ignite the power of the visioning of this. But sit in a meditation, and it's kind of like a three-step process. First, go into the process of what it would be like staying, like do a past life regression. Really, it's a forward life progression. What does it feel like staying? Where am I going? What's it like? Let your soul guide you into that timeline. And then wrap it up with a blessing. Do the same process, meditation, and bless your meditation from the beginning. Release any feelings that you have of guilt, of obligation, of a preference. Just try to be as neutral as you can, and do the same process with the current timeline that you're on. And then do the third one with the other future version, and your body and your guides. And if you tap into the Akashic, may be more clearly demonstrated for you, because there's no wrong path. It's your choice now. It's your choice. I hope that helps, Kimmy. Blessings. All right, let's continue. Linda, welcome to the call.
Yeah, you have to unmute, Linda.
There
Linda,
we
no.
go. Yes, I got it. Sorry. It's a little hard on the bottom. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for calling on me. Lisa, it's nice to see you again. I love you so much.
Thanks.
I just would love to know where I am supposed to project more of my service to other people at this moment in time.
You mean in what type of service is
Yeah.
in a kind of alignment for you?
Yes, please.
You know what I'm actually hearing, and I don't know if this has a simple fit, but what I'm hearing is actually children. So reading with kids, being with kids. I just feel all of this beautiful love and connection that you have with them, and that they would really, really enjoy you. It would be a beautiful mutual, beautiful service to both of you. So that's what they're saying.
Yeah, maybe they're talking about my great-granddaughters or great-grandson that's coming in. We'll see.
Oh,
Great.
wow.
I'm not
Absolutely.
positive, but I'm kind
Oh,
of looking forward to that. So
yes.
yes, thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you,
It's
Linda.
always a delight to be with you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Linda.
you.
All right, bye. Tanya, welcome.
Oh, thank you for calling on me. Hi,
Mhm.
Lisa.
Hi, Tom.
So I also kind of have a relationship question. I have been in a 21-year relationship with a man. We're not married, but we have been in a committed relationship for the 21 years. And I feel very differently about him than I did a while, 21 years ago when I met him. And but we've been together so long. He's such a big part of my life. And yet I have thoughts of, this isn't working after all this time. Is this man supposed to continue to be part of my life? He's a wonderful person. Couldn't say enough good things about him, but there's things missing in the relationship, big things for me. And I really don't know what to do with it. And I don't know if there's anything in my records that would help me. Do I have a soul contract with this gentleman? I'm really,
Yeah. Those are important questions. And the way I hear it is, yes, you did. And again, because we're human, things don't always continue, right? You can have a soul contract, and the contract is to support each other and to create this beautiful life and, kind of move forward and grow together. But it feels like maybe he got a little stuck on the growth part, and you want to go forward and grow and do, and, I feel more creative energy and spirituality and all of that flowing from you. And
yeah.
And he's not interested. And so what that does is that really means the contract actually becomes kind of null and void in a way. You were going along just great. You were doing everything you came to do. But, when one person stops, it's like, okay, that doesn't mean you've got to sacrifice the rest of your life. So in those ways, there is no repercussions in one way, contract wise, in the records, right? Humanly, right? It's complicated to move on, but that's what they're saying. And because you did have a contract, you might really look into trying to do some counseling, have these conversations, talk with someone, to see how would it be best to maybe get him unstuck. So maybe we can go forward. Maybe it's, finding some things that are more exciting mutually to do together than growing apart. So that's the way they say. I know we're humans and, it's complicated, but in the records, that allows the contract to be complete.
So I did have a contract with him at one time, but I don't necessarily have one going forward.
Correct. So what I find is that often we have a contract for an amount of time. Sometimes we have a contract with someone to have a family. And then once the kids grow up, the contract is over because it was really about raising the children and creating the family. And so, we don't write contracts. We don't always write contracts that are lifelong. Often they are more about a specific time in our life. And so, if you grew together and if he wanted to grow with you, then then the contract kind of re-ups and continues on. But if not, then again, then you have to deal with, do I want to move out? Can I afford to live on my own? Do I want to start again? Would I be happier? Again, I love John's process. Would I truly be happier on my own?
Mhm.
And really only you can, you know, decide that, because that's about really what you feel, and that's not written in your records.
Okay, thank you.
You
Yeah.
are very welcome.
Thank you, Tanya. I'm really glad this came in, and Tanya, I'm really grateful for your question also, because as the floods of these energies are streaming in for us, there is an attunement to a field of integrity, of clear communication that's coming in, because that's going to create our realities, and we're going to notice the effects of realities being created based on our output or what we're holding in also. And so if we fester a long time in what we know for fear or withholding, and that's serving us but not really serving the people that we say that we love, there's going to be adjustments in that that's going to put the energies in right relationship with the octaves that we have access to on a consciousness level. So we're really being called forward to speak from our heart. It's not that we have to blurt everything out all the time, but when we know, we know, we know. And when we're confused, especially in dynamic relationships, then inquiry and conversation are going to be really important, because honoring each other is what's going to keep that field that we have open. And so it's something for all of us to really take into consideration, because that's what we're all stepping in. And I think that's part of the nervousness also. It's like, I have to reveal more of myself, or people are going to have to know me, and I have to be more vulnerable, or there's a lot that goes with it. But it's also so beautiful, because in our love, when we speak our truth, we're setting someone else free in their choice, so that they can be aware. And that's the most noble thing that any of us can do. So just wanted to share that with you and with everybody in the audience. Okay, y'all, let's continue. You know, Lisa, I want to get into your special offer, because the training that you're offering here to really tune in is really quite amazing. Y'all, tuning into the Akashic Records, letting Lisa guide you in how to communicate your guides and your knowing. Click on the special offer, and it's a reduced price for Beyond the Ordinary, and it's a library of information, basically. But Lisa, guide everybody to what they're going to receive.
Yes, absolutely. So this is, as I was saying a little bit earlier, if you were here in the beginning, you know, the record keepers keep saying it is so important to be guided by your soul, right? By this depth of wisdom, which is almost unfathomable. If you imagine that you lived 800 lives here on this planet and thousands or millions in other worlds, planes, dimensions, your Akash holds so much of that information, of that wisdom, of the gifts and talents that you've honed in other lifetimes. So having access to that in this really phenomenal time of changing energy, and you might be surprised how many gifts that you've honed in other lives are useful for you now. So in this workshop, so this is my live online 3-day Learn to Access Your Own Akashic Records workshop. It's March 2021, 22.
Wait, this is a live one that recorded?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is epic. Okay, y'all, I'm like really excited now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought we recorded. Okay.
No. So I am there answering your questions. I am
Wow.
holding the energy. I am conversing with you, you know, just like this, right? You know, I have you ask your questions, and I like to do group healing because I'm a big fan of healing. So you will learn my 5-step wisdom prayer system. So the record keepers have given us this beautiful 5-step wisdom prayer system to really simply and clearly move from this energy, right where we are in this moment, into the vibration and energy field of the Akasha, and really throw open those doors of your grand library and talk to these beautiful librarians who are keeping your records for you. So it's so much more than having one guide or what. You've got a team like of a dozen Akashic record keepers, these beautiful beings of light who are in service to you. And when you ask, this question, that group goes and finds all the information, and you have multiple layers of information often around any question, right? Whatever it is that we want to work on. And so you have this team. So depending on if you want to work on my highest and best, my health here and now in this moment, you've got the team that works on that. You might want to talk about past lives and gifts or traumas that are blocking you, some old fear you feel is coming from other lifetimes. And that team is going to find all those books and all those past lives where you have those blocks. And you might want to say, well, going forward, what's the highest and best, and what can I align to? What gifts can I reclaim? How can I realign to move forward? And you've got those, those other beautiful Akashic record keepers or beings of light that are helping you to move forward. And so 3-day course, 5 hours per day online, live with me, totally live. And I teach you my 5-step wisdom prayer system. I will teach you 7 Akashic healing prayers that help you just clear and release old unwanted energy with ease and grace. There is a 40+ page manual that you can follow along with. I do it really simply, so I have slides up so that you can just sit there and read, and step by step I walk you through, really holding us in this beautiful Akasha container of energy and light. And then you can, when class is over, you've got your manual, you've got all the processes, you've got the 5-step wisdom prayer system, you've got the meditations written out, you just have everything kind of at your little fingertips, so you can continue to practice every day. And so tools to help you align. Again, like I was saying, they give us so many tools to make things easier, right? So simply by learning, like I was talking a little bit earlier, really bringing your soul more present into the body, aligning and embodying, really grounding, creating this rainbow shield of energy. It's so much easier to have a conversation with your record keepers because you have cleared everyone out, you've grounded, aligned, moved into a space of connection with your Akashic record keepers. So they've given us all these guided visualizations and meditations, just lots and lots of processes that we do over the 3 days. Really beautiful information, and simple, because we don't need to make it complicated. You don't have to sit and meditate for hours before you can start to talk to your record keepers. It's a simple process that I literally teach in the first few hours of the workshop. And then we go on for the next dozen hours practicing and learning more tools and asking questions and doing exercises and sharing what we're receiving. So it's very, very, very interactive. And then, of course, there's all sorts of bonuses, and one of them is a 25% savings on a private Akashic reading with me. So if you want me to go in and really access that expertise, talking to your personal record keepers, doing quantum energy healing for you in that hour-long session, you save over 100 and something over $120 or something like that on a
Wow.
private session with me.
I can't believe you're still doing sessions. You're doing so many other things.
I
That's
know.
amazing. That's amazing.
I love doing readings. I know. I sometimes say the same things. I love doing readings. I love connecting with people. I learn so much about, the energies and what's happening and what's coming up, because people ask different questions, of course, than I would or whatever. So I
Right.
love doing readings, and the healing is profound in this quantum energy of the Akashic records. And so you
Beautiful.
get my audios with music for my rainbow shield meditation, the grounding your kite meditation, the call back your energy meditation, which is pretty transformational. If I get really tired, I'm like, oh, I have to call back my energy because I left it scattered around the world, or, here or there. Simple, quick tools. Most of them are like maybe 10-minute guided visualizations, so you can use them really easily. And so I think that's about it.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm gonna share the screen here, y'all. If you when you're on the call earlier, I was talking about the different gateways and the practices to get into a state of receptivity. And what Lisa's outlined here are gateways for a lot of that. And she's in this course as you're and live, which is, my God, so much better than I even thought. To be in a vibrational field, to hold that space when you drop into the meditation or the process to levitate to that consciousness, I'll call it. It's really quite extraordinary. So the fact that this is being offered in the way that it is, with a live course, is just it's truly epic. So I'm really grateful for what's being shared here. The course, it's live. You'll get access to replays if you miss a course, if you miss a day, right, Lisa?
Yes.
Access to
And
replays.
you always have that, right? So you'll have your own members page with all the meditations, with the manuals, with all the replays. You can go back again and again, rewatch, re-listen, right? Download your manual, download your meditations. Everything is in your members page, and will be there kind of as long as I'm around teaching, which I imagine will be another 20 or 30 years or so.
Wow. Amazing what's coming through. And I'm having issues on my side with my share screen. For some reason, it doesn't want to come off, which is really weird. But I'm going to find it. It's so strange. Y'all, again, it's a two payment option. It's $222. It's Lisa Live. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. And how do I stop sharing the screen? What's happening, Lisa? Are you seeing the sales page?
I am still seeing the sales page. Yeah, I know. That is
So
very
weird.
strange. You can't, I wonder.
Here we go. I found a
You
stop
found the
sharing.
button?
Screen.
I can share. That would be weird.
Right?
Yeah, and that's half of what I usually cost for that. I mean, that's 50% off of what I charge
Yeah,
my
amazing.
people. Shh, don't tell them.
That's amazing. Y'all drop in. We're gonna get into a group experience here in a little bit also. So I want to remind everybody of that and keep us on track for that. But I do want
Yes,
to say,
and oh, sorry, wait, I just have a quick
yeah.
request of everybody, or not everybody, but if there's something that's coming up that feels that it would be really great to do as a group, like if there's collective stuff a lot, especially recently, I've been doing some collective around things like war and peace and some of the fear and the trauma that's been coming up in the world and different things like that. So you could type some of those in the chat, and then when we do the group healing, I'll bring you all into the Akashic Records with me, and then we'll do group healing around whatever's coming up to do.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. All right. There's so much going on today. A lot of energy is running through. This is great. Deborah, welcome to the call. And let me ask you. Hi.
I was just going to go in the chat and say, okay, this could be a group one. My question is about relationships. More, I'm generally like with girlfriends, but where I really feel the crunch is with my adult kids, and just their lives are busy, and it's a different dynamic than how I felt we raised our kids to be more all inclusive. So, and I'm very much aware of my part in that, and giving them lots and lots of grace and space and generosity in that. But I'm curious about the Akashic records. Is there something there that's a blockage for me?
Yeah.
And if you want to do that as a group thing, I'm okay if for a time.
Yeah, well, I think I'll do the process. There's a process coming up to share, and I think maybe we'll do that with everybody, because there's this lovely infinite connection, and I have 4 adult children too, and I often will do that with them, and I really saw it kind of change in our relationship. And so I would love to do that, which is really fascinating that that you're experiencing that, because what I'm seeing is you in many different kind of past lives, more in the ancient mystery schools, goddess temples, a lot of beautiful collective energy spaces, groups, and what I'm hearing, and I think we'll maybe be able to do this even a little bit for everyone, is that somehow the kids don't always feel like they are in that circle. It's almost kind of like the separation between the kids table and the adults table is kind of in the olden days. If you think about that, that's kind of what I'm feeling like. I see you as this, beautiful light worker, teacher, holding all this space with these beautiful, goddess women, ancient mystery schools, but the kids were separate. So I think that would be useful to do work, because I think a lot of us have that too.
I think you've really nailed it, Lisa. I am feeling that more and more, that it's my path is here, and my children currently, my adult children don't have a grid for that. I get along famously with my grandchildren, but you know what? Yeah, it's just a matter of life and focuses too, right? Yeah. Thank you so much, Lisa.
And it's always good to know too, of course, we don't always have contracts with our kids or our grandkids, but you definitely are here as that, again, that wise woman, that beautiful grandmother, that helping with the next level of vision that sometimes our kids don't have, because they're in the work of survival and kind of.
Yeah, I think I see somebody mentioned it recently in a show, just all the children being born are star seeds, and I have just been feeling that in my spirit so much with some of my younger grandchildren especially. And yeah, I know there's not that freedom to discuss that at this point. Yeah, thank you so much, Lisa.
Coming soon. Very beautiful. Thank you.
Sweet. All right, let's continue. Serafina, welcome.
Hello, Lisa. Hi, John.
Hi.
So I'm in a new stage. I had been a community-based social worker for decades, and then I did some energy work and vibrational healing work, and I've completed what feels like contracts with different communities and then family members. So I'm in this open space of not knowing, and it's very odd for me. So I want to be in service, and then I'm getting this sense of the service to my soul would be actually serving my soul and getting in touch with my guides and some of my gifts, that would really bring me joy. And hearing some of the things that you're saying that can be done in the Akashic records kind of sparked that. I'm just wondering if you could kind of get a sense if that's.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I would pretty much just have said exactly that. What I heard when you were saying that you've been in service all this time and in the work that you've done, the record keeper said, it's time for you to be in service to yourself now, right? This is really the next stage to really access your gifts, to really feed yourself and just care for yourself and just get to kind of be the light that you are with ease and grace, and not have to, you know, be working at it so much, but just really enjoy it. And it feels like you have a lot of, you know, guides and record keepers who are kind of like clamoring, they'd like to talk to you. And so it's a perfect time for you to you know, kind of dive in and do what you're called, whether it's my workshop in March and learn to read the records and get to talk to that dozen record keepers that are like standing around waiting to talk to you, and all of, yeah. It's beautiful. It looks like a lot of fun. So that's
Yeah.
lovely.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Serafina, blessings to you. Lisa, I wonder if y'all are feeling this also, if it was just me. You mentioned March and it felt so long away. It's like, what, March? What are you talking about? It's in a few weeks.
I
Did y'all
know.
feel that also? Did March feel like another timeline in another world, another universe? So strange. Wow.
Right, like next summer. No, it's like, no,
It's
it's about 5 weeks away. We're talking here, right? And I wanted to make sure there was enough time for people to take those, you know, 3 half days, right? So you don't want to make it next weekend. That would be
right.
too
No,
soon.
but
Yeah.
I'm so curious what's
Yeah.
happening in the timelines between now and then, because it feels so separate.
Mm.
I just think so much change. I really,
Yeah, ooh,
really, that's
chills.
what I've been like this floodgate just opened.
Mm, yeah.
And wow, you know, we have a lot going on over the next, it could be a whole new world in 5 or 6 weeks. So I think it's exciting. And you
I
know,
think
don't
it
you want to
is.
be able to have these conversations with your own record keepers every single day with ease? I teach my students, sit down for 20 or 30 minutes, open your records. One of the great gifts of learning to access your records is that you literally use the access prayer, which is just a simple vibrational key. You
Mm.
move into the Akash and you can like just be in this energy of source, of peace, of love, of joy. You can ask them for healing. I mean, you could just hang out and receive this beautiful energy and then say, okay, thanks, I'll see you tomorrow. You don't have to have a bunch of questions. You can receive this healing energy because, again, we're jumping kind of from our normal whatever is happening. And I know many of you hold high vibrations, but we're moving really into this gorgeous vibration of love and peace and joy and awakening. So we're really shifting into that. And when we do that every day, that alone
Mm.
will start to transform your life, right? With just ease. When you change your vibration, you're changing what you're calling to you. You are a big old magnet. So you're calling love and peace and joy and fun and grace and ease. That's what you're now calling to yourself. And so even if you don't have a lot of questions, even if you don't get a lot of information right off the bat, the record keepers say, just come hang with us. We will love you up. We will do energy healing for you. And just over this time, it's all perfect.
Amazing, amazing what's coming through. Serafina, thank you for sharing. All right, let's go to one more question that we're gonna tap into our process today. So Vida, let's go to you. Welcome to the call.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Lisa and John. So my question tonight would be, can you please tell me what's my main contract with my dad? If it's, I'm asking this because, you know, I've done a lot of like healings, but it's mostly like my maternal. Most of the time it's maternal. It's very rare that I get a paternal contract to be completed. So I don't know if there's any.
Well, you know, the interesting, is he been very present in your life?
It's a bit complicated. Not really. I didn't grow up with my dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, because what what they were saying, and that often will show up that way, is that you don't really have a soul contract with him.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Wow.
It's a little odd, but we sometimes kind of roll it out that way. You know, yeah, there's some version of contract that has to do with, you know, part of the genes and everything. But again, a contract can be, you know, even that short. Sometimes, you know, that's all it is. That's what was called in. And so not a lot of stuff to work on or do, or yeah. So it, again, with the records, one of the huge benefits to me is to be able to go, oh, all right, it's not me. I don't need to do anything. It's just all good and perfect. And
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Blessings to you and your dad separately. Amazing.
I
All
love
right,
it.
y'all.
What?
Before we go deep and wide and profoundly with Lisa in this process, click on the link for the special offer and at least keep it open as a tab on your computer so you can go back in. And I hope you do participate in this. Again, it's a very generous offer at this price. And again, the access, learning how to hold the vibration, being in the group environment with Lisa, and again, really learning how to access your Akashic and your Akashic guides. It's like it's a tool for life that I hope that you have access to on a continuous basis. So again, the link's in the chat box. It's in the screen right below where you're watching this video. If you're live, if you're watching from the YouTube channel, the link is in the comments section, and you can find it there. And with that, Lisa, if you're ready, we're so ready to receive from you.
Yes, absolutely. So beautiful. So I would like to bring everybody who wants to come into the Akashic Records with me into the record. So all you just have to do is just think yes. And I am going to do a brief guided visualization to really, you know, bring you in. And so you can sit back and close your eyes and just take a nice deep breath. And we will start by inviting our beautiful, bright souls to come down more fully present into our physical body. Again, integrating in every cell, getting so grounded that you can see every cell in your body kind of sparkling as the soul touches down and kind of activates and truly remembers the contract that your soul made with your physical form. So just feeling that energy and all of that light as it flows through you all the way down through your body. Hips and legs and feet. And I like to just imagine growing roots from both of our feet, deep, deep, deep down into Gaia. And then a nice grounding cord from the base of our spine, really a nice, wide, deep grounding cord all the way to the crystalline core of Gaia. And I like to wrap that tail around the crystalline core and thank our dear Mother Gaia for all of the energy and for all that she does in carrying us around. And the beauty is that she is awakening. And when we connect this way and invite her awakened energy to come into us, we really are able to receive that by kind of really deeply connecting and grounding through that grounding cord. So just know you're getting that extra bump too. And so now we're just going to breathe nice and slow and deep into our beautiful sacred heart and invite that fourth chakra, high heart, spiritual heart to open and expand a little bit more. And we ask the divine lords of unconditional love to help us center fully in this moment as we create this sacred space. Please wrap us in your love and protection and allow us to travel to the highest realms of the Akasha available to us today. Please help us, we lay our multi-dimensional hearts open to divine love and release all resistance. Lords of the Akashic Record, please guide us to the deepest truth we can access now. Support us in healing and releasing that which no longer serves on our true path. We give great thanks for your divine love and support on this journey today. And just allow yourself to feel this beautiful column of Akashic energy and light as it swirls around you, all the way from the beautiful source quantum field down around each and every one of us, really all the way around the planet is more what it looks like. Touching down on Gaia, sending all that beautiful energy and light to Gaia as we become the bridge between the Akasha, ourselves, and Earth. Just taking that one more deep, slow breath, noticing what you feel, noticing what you notice. Just actually inviting your record keepers to step into your field and to share information and energy with you as we do this energy healing today. Let's just start by asking our record keepers to help to open all of our clairs up just another step. I sometimes kind of go through this, and maybe we'll do a little bit. It seems to be what's showing up. They want to work a little on our clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance. And so I've never met anyone who didn't want to strengthen their clairs, right? Have you? So we're going to start with our third eye, sixth chakra, and we're inviting our record keepers to really step in and do some clearing and releasing of the energy. Right? They're even wanting to do some balancing between the hemispheres of the brain. Right? Because that's also balancing masculine and feminine energy. And then your beautiful pineal is kind of in the middle of those hemispheres. And we're going to ask our record keepers to kind of open, clear a little of the calcification, release old energy. Sometimes we take on other people's energy, or other people don't want us to see, right? They don't want us to see what they're doing or what they're thinking or what they're feeling. And they actually throw, probably unconsciously, they throw energy at us. People can throw negative energy at you, and it kind of, sticks like if you were throwing some Play-Doh at a wall and it's stuck. So all of that gunk, any sticky, gunky energy in the pineal, we want to clear, release, delete all of that for everyone. And then we want to kind of reconnect, create a new connection between the third eye and the pineal, right? So we feel our third eye is a little bit more front of the head and the pineal center of the head. So I always like to see a beautiful gold infinity symbol between the pineal and the third eye, with a new beautiful sparkly golden infinity symbol, really updating and upgrading your clairvoyance. And then we're going to do something kind of similar with the clairaudience. We have channels that run around our physical ears and down the side of our neck and come down into our heart. And those are our clairaudient channels. That's really kind of how we hear. But for most humans, we hear in our heart. So it often comes through kind of as that claircognizant knowingness, because it kind of drops down into the heart. Or we often hear it as that kind of quiet voice in our head. It often sounds like us, but what we notice is it sounds a little different, maybe different words, different verbiage. Sometimes I find the record keepers have a little bit more of an older English than we would normally speak. So the phrases are often unusual to us. So that's where we start to notice, oh, that's a little different. I don't think that's me. That's not me thinking that. That's a message, right? That's the clairaudient message. So we're clearing and opening and updating and upgrading all of those clairs. And then the claircognizance, that clear knowingness that, again, we often feel in our heart, but often we also might get it like a knowing that just drops into our head or, you know, our gut, right? So everyone's super unique. So even your claircognizance, that knowingness, you might feel it in different places in your body, or you may just, I just know that. I don't know. That just came into my head. I just know it. I don't know how I know it, but I know it. And that is clear knowingness. That is claircognizance. So the record keepers are anchoring that into both, all three places actually. The head, the heart, and the gut. All of those are brains. Of course, your obvious head brain, but heart brain and gut brain often receive claircognizance. So we want to anchor all of that into the body with the beautiful updates and upgrades from your record keepers in this beautiful, exciting new energy now, right here and right now. Nice. Good. So that feels good. And so do we have some input in the Q&A or other things? Let's see, group session, focus on flux, upheaval, traumas, destabilization related to global escalation of environmental disasters. Yeah, that's a great one to work on. Okay, perfect. Let's do some work around that. And so really the record keepers are kind of starting by sending energy to many of these different places. I'm in California, but I'm in a little bit more Northern California. So of course we've just had the huge fires in LA, but there are so many different, you know, global challenges that we're facing, right? Storms, floods, earthquakes, everything. So first, I really want to ask our record keepers to send everyone on Earth in any of these places, in all of these places that have been destabilized. I was just reading that there's some concerns about Santorini and earthquakes there. So even if they haven't, if it hasn't happened yet, the record keepers are wanting to do some anchoring of energy and stabilizing of some of these energies on the planet. And again, healing for the people who have already experienced some of these disasters in different places on the earth. Now I'm really seeing a lot of beautiful energy kind of flooding the humans who are experiencing upheaval or trauma or, you know, a variety of different challenges, as well as I'm seeing a really kind of stabilizing white energy coming in. It's very, really powerful quantum stabilization all around the earth, because on top of it, you know, we know our poles are shifting, things are really going to be shifting. And so we don't know what it's going to look like or feel like or really be like, honestly. So of course, there's billions and billions and billions of record keepers. And so they are sending Gaia herself all of this beautiful stabilizing energy everywhere. And I'm really watching it just kind of shoot right into the earth and kind of stabilize and solidify some of this moving energy. And then I want to ask the record keepers to really uplift the fear, kind of the fear of what might happen. Kind of, we often are projecting ourselves into the future, and we might be okay right here in this present moment, but we're afraid of what might happen. And when we can come back right here into this body in this moment right here, we're okay. So they're wanting us to come into this present moment. Again, one of the great empowerment tools of being grounded and doing many of these different grounding tools and rainbow shield is that it brings you into present time. So not only can we create and manifest with much greater ease, it does put us in this moment. And so that helps us with fear, concern, worry, stress, right, of the future. And so just kind of record keepers, I see them just gathering all that kind of frenetic energy of fear and stress and just dissipating that for everyone around the world. And filling everyone with their beautiful, highest Akashic energy, light, and wisdom. We, of course, want to fill everyone with their highest vitality and physical health, because, of course, many people are not in their homes, are having to move somewhere. Maybe they've been away from their home for some weeks now with the fires in LA or different earthquakes or traumas that are happening in the planet. So we just want to send all of that healing energy and vitality and just really beautiful blessings to everyone on earth. Just anchoring that in and just letting that expand. Something must be leaving with my sneezing. That's kind of a unusual thing for me to feel, kind of funny. Good. Nice. Okay. So what's coming up, John? Are you Anything coming up for you that you're seeing, noticing to work on?
I really feel to work on really supporting with a lot of compassion the expansion of our hearts as it's taking place. Like really seeing like the beauty, finding beauty where these places are taking and activating the potential
Mm.
of the
Mm.
light that's streaming through. Um,
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Mm.
Mm. And so what I'm seeing and feeling and noticing is all of this beautiful energy of really of peace, allowing ourselves to receive all of this beautiful new energy, all of these gifts that are at this moment kind of unknown to us. And so we sometimes, we get tense or worried or, what's that mean? What does that look like? And so the record keepers want us to continue every day to practice calling in peace along with the beautiful love and vitality, all these beautiful energies, these energies that help us to relax and expand with greater ease. Right, when I see that piece, of course, for me, often there's that beautiful blue energy, like the water, and it flows and it just expands with grace and it's easy. It's like, just floating in the ocean or pool or lake or canoeing down a river or just paddleboarding where it's so fun and peaceful and joyous and expansive. It's all of that energy that they want us to really feel right now and embody. And just to remember to continue calling that in because it allows us that grace going forward, really, really living in grace. And they're saying that with all the changes, with all the beautiful, joyful, glorious changes, with the new things that are, coming, that are happening, that we're going to create, all of that, really inviting the ease and the grace every day and knowing and noticing, right? Knowing that your life is filled with ease and grace and noticing how that's showing up, how people are showing up, doors are opening with ease, all the very beautiful, cool things, the connections, all the good and the joy that is, coming to you and flowing through you and back into the world, creating this beautiful energies. Interesting. And that totally reminds me that we want to do because that is that flowing and connecting. So I want to teach everybody this very simple, very cool tool to connect because often we want to release old energies. We want to move people out of our energy field and our space because really to be the sovereign, to own your body, own your energy field, own your auric field, be that sovereign allows you to be the creator, being the creator of your life that you truly came to be. So all of that said, we really want to move everyone out. And then the beautiful tool they gave us is to just imagine, and I do this with like my kids, right? So I imagine I'm sitting here and I have 5 chairs sitting in a semicircle around me, or sometimes it gets to be the whole family. It could be my 96-year-old father and my brother and my granddaughter and my, if I've got time. I just imagine this big semicircle right around. And then what we do is just imagine a gold infinity symbol from your heart chakra to their heart chakra. And it's gold and liquid light flowing back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it's just such a pure, divine connection, heart to heart with your loved ones. There's no cords, there's no pulling or yanking. It's just this pure, unconditional love. And you're receiving it and they're receiving it. And it's just purely in flow. And so I just imagine that I'm doing that with all my family in the semicircle around me, heart to heart, really just sharing their love with them, the pure, it's not even your love, it's just pure source energy, pure divine, unconditional love. And then I can do that every day. And I notice that kind of changing the energy and the connection. And then the next step further, sometimes maybe we want to do it with one person. Maybe you're going to have a conversation with someone. Maybe you have some big important conversation to have with your partner or somebody that you work with, or, you know, one of your loved ones. And so we can do not only heart to heart, but I like to do fifth chakra to fifth chakra, so that we are opening, clearing, and creating this beautiful communication level where you can both speak your truth with ease and grace, that you're able to communicate and receive, again, just with love and ease. And then I often will do kind of sixth chakra to sixth chakra, eye to eye. So we can see eye to eye. We kind of grok what that person is saying. Doesn't mean that we buy in or believe or any of the above, but we understand, again, with that beautiful energy of divine love and ease and grace. And so we're kind of lining up with these people and creating this beautiful connection using a gold infinity symbol. And so I highly recommend that for people with their families.
Great process. Thank you for sharing that today. It's so beautiful. My God, this is such an amazing call. It's so much is coming through, and the process at the end, and just the generosity. Linda wrote that was so lovely and grateful. You sent so much love and compassion to traumatized areas, and how generous that it was to be able to do it from this space. So thank you, Lisa. Y'all, the special offer, the link's in the chat box. More of Lisa. Y'all dive in deeper with her. It's only $222. It's a 2-payment option. It's live beginning in March, which is only a few weeks away, not lifetimes away, like I felt it.
And you get to hang out with me, and I get to hang out with you. And I think that's very cool and exciting.
That's super cool. And you're an amazing teacher. And she'll take questions. You go into the Akashic. That's going to be amazing. Y'all tune into that. Of course, we're going to run the replay. You can always access replays on beyondtheordinaryshow.com/replay. And with that, Lisa, thank you so much. What an incredible call today.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It has been really a joy and a blessing to me. And I really just feel that energy of the beautiful Akashic record keepers flowing through me to every single person here and on the planet. And we thank the record keepers for their love, their grace, their healing. I'm going to close the group records for now. And I hope you come and join me and learn to access your own personal records, going deep with your own soul's guidance. So beautiful empowerment tool for the rest of your life.
Blessings, Lisa. Thank you so much. Blessings, everybody. Bowing to you, namaste. And I look forward to seeing you all on the next call. Bye, everybody.